The myth that Russia has not lost a single war is still popular today, and in this issue we will talk about some of the wars in which Russia was defeated. First one. The Russian-Polish War, one of the main events of the time of troubles and one of its main causes. After the end of the war, under the Deulinsky truce, Russia ceded more to Smolensk, Chernigov and Novgorod Seversk lands, in which there were 29 cities and abundant claims to Livonia. The Polish-Russian border approached Moscow so close that the distance from it to the border zone was only 250 versts, almost the same in kilometers. And the Commonwealth for 50 years established the largest dimension in its history. Second one. Russian-Turkish War. Peter I began and ended this war with one disastrous Pruth campaign, the purpose of which was rather petty, to capture Charles XII. As a result, Peter I, together with Catherine I, almost got captured. Under the Pruth Peace Treaty, Russia returned the captured Azov to Turkey, sold all its ships on the Sea of Azov to Turkey, Zaporizhzhia siege and Cossacks of western side of the Dnieper came out of Russia power. Third one. Russian-Prussian-French War. Russia participated in this war against Napoleonic France on the side of the Fourth Coalition and the Powers while seeing its own Russia-Turkish War. Russia could not wage two wars at the same time, and after a series of heavy defeat from Napoleon, Alexander I was forced to conclude the Tilsit peace. In Russia, this was treated as a national disgrace and unheard of dishonor, in addition to a painful blow to pride. Joining the continental blockade of Great Britain hit the Russian economy hard and unleashed the Anglo-Russian War, and later led to a Napoleonic invasion of Russia. Fourth one. Crimean War. The war started by Russia against Turkey for dominance in the Black Sea, Strait and the Balkans, turned into a war against a coalition of England, France, the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Sardinia. In fact, Nicholas I dragged the economically backwards feudal Russia into a military conflict with strong European power. The signed Paris Peace Treaty demanded that Russia return all the occupied territories to Turkey. She was forbidden to have a navy in the Black Sea, and Russia also lost its influence in the Balkans. But there were also positive consequences. The defeat was the impetus for the reforms of Alexander II and the abolition of serfdom. Fifth one. Russian-Japanese War. Many people know about the defeat in this war. The Portsmouth Peace Treaty provided for the cession of half of Sakhalin, lease rights to the Liaodong Peninsula and part of the South Manchurian Railway. Russia also recognized Korea as a Japanese zone of influence and Japan's right to fish trade along the Russian coast. Sixth one. World War I. Started with an unprecedented patriotic upsurge supported by many sections of the population. This is an absolute useless war for Russia, led to a revolution and the collapse of the Russian Empire, as well as to defeat in the losing side of the war, unique in history. By signing the separate Treaty of Brest-Litovsk literally 6 months before the surrender of Germany, Russia abandoned the lands of Poland and Ukraine, as well as all the Baltic countries and Finland. Russia paid 6 billion marks in reparation plus the payment of losses suffered by Germany during the Russian Revolution. 500 million gold rubles. An area of 780,000 square kilometers with a population of 56 million people was torn away from Russia. The Treaty of the Brest-Litovsk was annulled by Soviet Russia immediately after the surrender of Germany, but there was no place among the winners. This peace allowed the losing German Empire to stretch out with fire, transferring its forces from the eastern front to the western. Seventh one. Soviet-Finnish War. Also, the official war is considered a victory for the Soviet Union. The USSR actually lost it because it did not fulfill its main task. As a result, only 10% of the land was captured. According to various sources, the losses of the USSR averaged about 150,000 people. At the same time, the Finns lost only about 30,000 people. Yeah, a big win of USSR. Yeah, okay. So, and it's all for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Please like and share this video on social network. Bye bye.